So this is from Nadine Keswani from 1 August 2025. She says, there's a white Jewish man who's managed to wedge himself into pro-Palestine spaces, building a personal brand off of genocide. And every time I vaguely mention him, without even naming him, someone new messages me with another horrifying story. It gets worse. Anyone who respects our struggle would be respecting our women too. I'm not gonna let y'all normalize this shit in the middle of a genocide. We should have never let him get this comfortable. So, he's harassing Egyptians. He just harassed Lebanese women. He's a big opportunist. And there's this token Arab. That's who this is. Opportunist. Huge opportunist. Like, is this supposed to be normal? A white Russian Jewish guy starts supporting Palestine and then bases half of his content around fetishizing Arab women. And we're not supposed to call this out? And here's more evidence. So this is the man in question. And then Sandy Doda says, Jacob Berger, in case anyone is wondering. Again, he's just as bad as Khalid Beydoun. And for anyone who needs a thread on Sean King, this is the last time I want to talk about the immense harm of Khalid Beydoun and Sean King to our community. Most importantly, I underline communal self-accountability in centering voices of Palestinian black folks during our struggles for liberation. So this is what Falastini Foodie had to say about Jacob Berger.
By allowing yourselves to center these people is very difficult to undo later on. On top of that, the fact that so many of you will defend people who are not Palestinian and attack the people who are Palestinian, specifically the women, when we call these people out, is actually really disgusting. And to the people in our community who actually uplift these people and center them in our movement, shame on you. Nobody asked for these people to enter our movement. The purpose of these people is to move the people from their own group, from the right to the left, not to be centered in our spaces as Palestinians. We have a lot of unlearning to do, and it's definitely a product of colonization that we aspire to be recognized by those who colonize us. But you need to unlearn that, because it's only going to harm our movement going forward. We are the only ones that know what we need for liberations. We are the only ones that are going to free ourselves. Check out my caption. I'm going to tag the account that actually exposed all of this information on Jacob. And please, for the love of God, going forward, have some critical thinking when you're following people. Make sure that the voices that you are centering are Palestinian. I don't know how many times I can say this. Center Palestinian voices. In my last video, I told everybody to center Palestinian voices. And this is not something that was just a suggestion. Recent allegations have come out that Jacob Berger is actually trying to profit off of this movement, centering himself, and on top of that, has acted inappropriately with multiple women. Now, I personally never liked the guy from the beginning. I can always tell a grifter from the start. I called it with Sean King and Khalid Beydoun, and I was right about Jacob as well. The way he fetishized Arab women really got under my skin. It was actually very disgusting how much he would actually lust after our women. That is a product of colonization, textbook definition of a white man who is actually infatuated with the people that he is seeking to save. I don't know how many times we have to tell you to stop centering non-Palestinians, especially white men. The harm that is caused by allowing yourselves to center these people is very difficult to undo later on. On top of that, the fact that so many of you will defend people who are not Palestinian and attack the people who are Palestinian, specifically the women, when we call these people out, is actually really disgusting. And to the people in our community who actually uplift these people and center them in our movement, shame on you. Nobody asked for these people to enter our movement. The purpose of these people is to move the people from their own group, from the right to the left, not to be centered in our spaces as Palestinians. We have a lot of unlearning to do, and it's definitely a product of colonization that we aspire to be recognized by those who colonize us. But you need to unlearn that because it's only going to harm our movement going forward. We are the only ones that know what we need for liberations. We are the only ones that are going to free ourselves. Check out my caption. I'm going to tag the account that actually exposed all of this information on Jacob. And please, for the love of God, going forward, have some critical thinking.
So here's a good comment. This is what InstaGrizzles69 says. Yes, absolutely true. The white men for sure. And the white women like K.W. Bogan and her little friends. She's friends with Jacob. And Sim Kern, who is non-binary. I would say Sim Kern is still a woman. You know what I mean? Sim Kern is still a woman. It don't matter what she claimed. And is friends with Jacob. I called out Sim Kern as well. And yes, all of them are white, too. They dare slander the resistance in addition to their weird sex obsessions.
Do you remember this video I posted on October 19th of 2023? Make no mistake, the United States is 100% complicit and 100% the perpetrator of the continuing occupation and the recent genocide on Gaza and Palestine. I don't owe you grace. No Palestinian in this moment owes anyone who is just waking up any grace. And I know I'm going to get a lot of pushback from people, but at this point, almost 2 years into a genocide and 78 years into a brutal occupation of my people, I do not owe anyone grace for just waking up to what has been happening to us. There is no excuse besides willful ignorance at this point if you are saying that you are just starting to realize what's happening because of the recent forced starvation of the Palestinian people. Our people are not a trend. And what I have seen over the last 2 years is that people will speak out when they see that it fits their image and their lifestyle online. The dehumanization of Palestinians is not by chance. This was calculated and it was created in order to dehumanize us to the point that when Israel attacks us, that no one will say anything. Because we are the barbarians. We are the perpetuators of violence. And for so long, so many of you have believed that. But now when our people are forcibly starved, now when you see children emaciated, skeletal, now is when you decide to speak up. I don't want your solidarity. I don't need you to speak out, and I don't need your support. I was born into this, and make no mistake, being a Palestinian is the greatest honor of my life. I threw a rock as a toddler on the ancestral lands of my family. I was tear gassed and shot at with rubber bullets at 11 years old on a visit to Palestine. I was denied to go to school when I was a teenager living in Palestine, and I was denied entry into Palestine when I tried to go in 2021. No one can tell me what it's like to be a Palestinian more than me. And so for all of you who are out there, who are seeking others' voices, take it back. Reel yourself. Listen to Palestinians. We are the only voice that matters in this moment.
Again, I'm Palestinian. I'm part Palestinian. I grew up in South Anchorage. I've never been to Palestine because of the genocide and settler colonialism there. So, and I'm tired of seeing Russian Jews and Jews in general get platformed on the topic of Palestine. So, yeah. What else? See if they have any other good posts.
Do you remember this video I posted on October?
So yeah, support Palestinians. These are Palestinian-owned businesses. In DC and in Virginia. Oh, don't promote busboys and poets. They platform Medea Benjamin. Yeah, use the No Thanks app. I always use that app. Nope. So yeah, there you go. Actually, let's see what else we got going on. That's all for now. So yeah, don't trust Jacob Berger. That man is a weirdo.